Communication climate is the emotional tone of a relationship. It's how you express yourself in that way. And there are two different types of this. There is negative climate and there is positive climate. So negative climate is when somebody feels unsafe or unappreciated and don't think they can express themselves around you because you have created that environment where they don't feel like they can be completely comfortable with you. Now, opposed to that, positive climate is people feel safe to express themselves to you, and they are able to tell you how they really feel. So I think that positive climate overall is more important for healthier relationships. It makes just overall your relationship better anywhere in any relationship. So for me at my house, I feel like I have a more positive climate relationship with my brothers and my father and mother. I can express myself really comfortably to them, and I think they can express themselves comfortably to me as well. We don't really hide anything, and it's a pretty positive environment here. So, yeah. So that is what communication climate is. It is the emotional tone of a relationship, generally. So it's how you're able to express yourself to others and how they express themselves to you. So there are two types of messages, a confirming message and a deconfirming message. For a confirming message, there are three types: recognize, acknowledge, and endorse. Recognize is to acknowledge another's existence, its worthiness of attention. And acknowledge is to recognize their feelings and thoughts. And endorse is to signal agreement or to come to an understanding of what they are saying. So, an example of one of these is if you're endorsing someone, you're understanding what they're saying. Like, if they tell you, "Oh, I need your help with this assignment. Can you help me with some homework?" And you go, "Yeah, I completely understand that. I'll help you out, what you need." And yeah, so you're endorsing what they're saying to you. So that's an example. So that's what confirming messages are. So for deconfirming messages, it often means to imply a lack of regard to someone and their emotions and feelings. So the example for deconfirm message that I have is generalized complaining. So that's kind of when you're like, "Ah, you're so lazy, you never leave your room, you never do any work," kind of like that. So there's my example of that. So deconfirm messages mean the opposite of confirm messages. So yeah. So defensiveness and supportiveness. So defensiveness is an excessive concern with guarding oneself against the threat of criticism. So whenever somebody criticizes you, you get defensive. You're like, "Hey, no, that's not me." So that's kind of what defensiveness is. And on the other side of that is supportiveness, and that is when that is when what you say shows concern for somebody else, and it's generally not about you. So that's when you're kind of being supportive when somebody needs you. So they're opposites of each other. So at home, I kind of get defensive with my parents, but really only when I'm in the wrong. But my family's usually supportive, and they usually help me out for the most part. So I could improve myself in being a little less defensive at home. So that's kind of how it is at my house. Um, so the only other thing is, why is defensive language used and why does it cause conflict? Well, generally, it's because it becomes about you, and it causes conflict because you make it about you and push your values onto someone else. So that is kind of what supportness and defensiveness is. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. I am so upset right now. I don't want to talk to you right now. That jerk. Why did he have to do that? I'm sorry. Can you talk to me another time? Today my friend was real mean to me and he said some really mean stuff and it put me kind of in a bad mood. So honestly, can I just have some breathing room and maybe later I'll get with you. Thank you. For dinner, I am having chicken. You always get what you want. You always get beef, and I'm tired of it. I should get what I want for once. You always get what you want. Most of the time for dinner, you get beef. I was just wondering if we could have chicken this time, or anything, and I think that everybody should have a say in what we get for dinner, not just one person. So, I statements and you statements. An I statement claims ownership of what you're feeling, of your thoughts and feelings, rather than what someone else is. That's what a you statement is. A you statement usually shifts responsibility to another person. So instead of blaming yourself, you blame somebody else. So that is what an I statement and a you statement is. I can't think right now. Would you just give me a moment, please? It's too noisy in here. I can't think. Can you please be more quiet so I can come up with a better answer? Thank you. So, there are two different types of feedback: non-evaluative feedback and evaluative feedback. Evaluative provides um, two specific things: providing praise and constructive criticism. So when you provide praise, you kind of note the shortcomings and the strengths of what that person said. So you're giving feedback that's more positive if you provide praise. And constructive criticism, on the other hand, is giving more advice that helps them improve more with what they're saying. And it can help them out more in the long run. And it's more helpful advice so they can improve their work. So that is what evaluative is. So for non-evaluative, there is about three things: you probe, you paraphrase, or you offer support. So when you probe, it means you're asking questions to gain more information about the topic they're telling you, so you can offer more feedback about that topic. And then to paraphrase is repeating what someone said, but in your words. So you're taking what they said and phrasing it in a way that makes sense to you, and it could give more support to them. And then the last thing, offering support, includes sharing your perceptions of the situation and confirming what the problem is. So this is taking it from your point of view and helping them improve from your point of view. So that is what evaluative feedback is. So that is the Communication Climate Project. So I have learned a lot while doing this project. I've learned to really consider what other people think in the long run. Just be more thoughtful and always think about how you can improve your thought process when speaking to people. And I think it's been very interesting to see all of these concepts, with evaluation and then to the supportiveness and defensiveness and, confirming, deconfirming messages. So I feel that it's been very informative. Communication climate has been a very interesting topic, and I have learned quite a lot doing this. So I hope this videos have gone well. I've been a little sick, so Anyway, that's all. So thank you very much for watching. Take care.